Listen closely, because what I'm about to say is not just words. It's a spark, a jolt, a call to awaken something inside you that has been sleeping far too long. I want you to feel it deep in your bones, to let it shake you awake, to make every cell in your body rise and recognize the truth you've been avoiding. Nothing is going to change unless you do. This is the moment where you stop looking for permission, where you stop waiting for someone else to hand you success, happiness, or power. This is the moment you claim it for yourself. I need you to understand that life will test you, life will push you, life will try to break you, and it will do so relentlessly. But here's the key. You were never meant to be fragile. You were never meant to settle. You were never meant to watch from the sidelines as others take what could have been yours. Every struggle you have faced, every setback, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt has been preparing you for this exact moment. And if you don't act now, you will regret it. The fire you need is already inside you, waiting for a reason to burn, waiting for a decision to ignite it, waiting for you to stop making excuses and start demanding more from yourself. I want you to feel it. Feel the hunger. Feel the urgency. Feel the discomfort that comes with knowing you are capable of more than you've allowed yourself to be. And here's the truth. The discomfort is the point. The resistance is the point. The struggle is the point. Because nothing worth having comes easy. Nothing worth achieving comes without sacrifice. And nothing worth becoming will allow you to coast. You have to lean into the pressure, embrace the challenge, and recognize that every second you waste entertaining fear, doubt, or hesitation is a second wasted from building the life you deserve. I need you to promise yourself right now that you will not stop, that you will not quit, that you will push harder than yesterday, that you will face every obstacle with relentless determination, that you will rise when others fall, and that you will keep moving forward even when the world tells you no. This is more than motivation. This is a reckoning. This is the moment where you decide that your past does not define you, that your circumstances are not your master, and that your potential is unlimited if you refuse to let anything, anyone, or any excuse hold you back. Stay with me until the last second, because every word, every thought, every idea is designed to shake you awake, to sharpen your mind, to ignite your soul, and to force you to confront the truth that you are capable of greatness, but only if you choose it, fight for it, and refuse to accept anything less. This is your time. This is your life. This is your wake-up call. The truth about setting the standard is that it begins long before anyone sees you win, long before anyone applauds you, long before anyone acknowledges what you're doing. It starts in that quiet moment where you decide you're tired of living at the level life handed you, and you're ready to create a new level with your own two hands. Most people never set a standard because standards come with responsibility, pressure, and expectations. And when you raise your expectations, you can't hide anymore. You can't lie to yourself anymore. You can't play small anymore. That's why setting the standard is frightening for most people. They know the moment they draw that line, the moment they commit to a higher level, every excuse they ever use becomes useless. Setting the standard means stepping into a life where average is no longer an option. It means you stop negotiating with your weakness. You stop accommodating your laziness. You stop allowing your old habits to dictate your new future. People talk about wanting success, confidence, discipline, respect, but what they really want is the feeling of those things, not the lifestyle that produces them. But a standard isn't a feeling, it's a commitment. And that commitment is a mirror that reflects exactly who you are every day. If you're slipping, that mirror shows it. If you're cutting corners, that mirror exposes it. If you're inconsistent, that mirror screams it at you. Standards don't let you hide. A lot of people think setting a standard is about achieving something big, but it's actually about transforming who you are. It's about deciding how you move, how you think, how you react, how you handle pressure, how you talk to yourself, how you show up when nobody's watching. It's about creating a personal code and living by it. And that code becomes your identity. When you set a standard for how you wake up, how you work, how you speak, how you treat people, how you handle adversity, you remove the guesswork from life. You remove the chaos, because now everything is filtered through one question. Does this align with my standard or not? Setting the standard means you refuse to let circumstances lower your level. Most people adjust themselves to their environment. If life gets hard, they get soft. If people around them are lazy, they become lazy. If things aren't going their way, they stop trying. But when you set a standard, you become the thermostat, not the thermometer. You decide the temperature. You decide the pace. You decide how hard you go. You decide the level you operate at, and you maintain it regardless of who approves, who doubts, who leaves, or who stays. That's what separates leaders from followers. Leaders set the standard. Followers wait for one. The moment you set a real standard, it will challenge you. It will expose everything inconsistent inside you. You'll see your weaknesses clearer than ever before. You'll feel the resistance of your old self trying to pull you back into comfort. You'll hear that voice in your mind telling you, you don't have to go so hard today, you're tired, you deserve a break. But you'll also realize how powerful you become when you ignore that voice and follow your standard instead. That's the shift. That's the transformation. That's when you stop living life based on how you feel and start living life based on who you said you were going to become. Setting the standard means you stop waiting for motivation. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop waiting for someone else to validate your effort. Instead, you build a mindset where the standard itself is the motivation. People who rise to greatness don't rise because they feel inspired. They rise because their standard demands it. When you have a standard, discipline becomes automatic. Consistency becomes your default mode. Hard work becomes your identity. Excellence becomes your normal, and mediocrity becomes offensive to you. Setting the standard also means losing people. Because the moment you raise your level, the people who refuse to grow will feel uncomfortable around you. They'll say you've changed, and you have. They'll say you think you're better than them, and you don't. You're just better than who you used to be. And if they don't want to elevate, they'll try to pull you down. That's the price of greatness. Not everyone will go with you. The higher your standard, the fewer people can survive in your space. But that's okay. Your future is worth more than their comfort. Setting the standard also means being consistent when nobody claps, nobody cheers, nobody notices. You'll work in silence for months, maybe years. You'll grind on the days when progress feels invisible. You'll push through moments and your effort feels wasted. But that's the process of becoming someone new. The standard builds you long before it rewards you. And the reward always comes. Not always fast, but always fair. Life pays the people who refuse to lower their level. Life blesses the disciplined. Life favors the committed. Life elevates the ones who set the standard and live by it with unwavering conviction. Setting the standard is how you take back control of your life. You stop being reactive and start being intentional. You stop hoping and start deciding. You stop surviving and start designing. It's the difference between drifting and dominating. When you set a standard, you're telling the world, this is who I am now. This is how I move. This is the level I operate at. And I refuse to settle for anything less. And the moment you truly commit, everything in your life begins to shift. Your habits, your circle, your confidence, your opportunities, your energy, your mindset, your results. Because the standard you set becomes the life you live. And once you taste life at a higher level, you will never go back. The second key note is about understanding that the standard you choose determines the life you live, and the standard you accept determines the person you become. Most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they tolerate too much. They tolerate laziness. They tolerate excuses. They tolerate half effort. They tolerate being surrounded by people who don't push them. They tolerate a version of themselves that is far beneath what they're capable of becoming. And every time you tolerate something beneath your potential, you lower your internal standard without even realizing it. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens in small decisions, quiet moments, tiny compromises, and little lies you whisper to yourself. It's okay if I skip today. It's fine if I'm a little LA. I'll start tomorrow. Those are not harmless thoughts. Those are kneecaps to your momentum, cracks in your discipline, leaks in your identity. Every time you allow those cracks to form, your standard falls another inch. And inch by inch, you drift further away from the person you claim you want to be. A standard isn't something you dream about. It's something you enforce. Anyone can talk about greatness, but very few can look at themselves in the mirror and demand it daily. A standard means you hold yourself accountable at a level that other people don't understand. It means you show up early, work harder, think sharper, and move differently. A standard means if you say you're going to do something, you do it even when you don't feel like it, even when no one is watching. A standard means you don't falter because your emotions swing, your emotions don't run you. Your principles do. When you set a real standard, discipline isn't punishment, it's identity. It's who you are, it's what you do. And you stop operating off motivation and start operating off conviction. Some of you have goals that require a new lifestyle, but you're still living with the same habits. You want success, but you've got the standard of someone who just hopes things work out. You want respect, but you've got the standard of someone who lets people walk all over them. You want wealth, but you've got the standard of someone who wastes time like it's free. You want a better future, but you wake up like your present is guaranteed. The truth is painful, but necessary. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your standards. If your standard is low, your life will match it. If your standard is average, your results will be average. But if your standard is excellence, your results have no choice but to elevate. Raising your standard isn't about perfection. It's about refusal. Refusing to operate beneath your purpose. Refusing to let your environment dictate your effort. Refusing to let fear make decisions for you. Refusing to let comfort be the reason you stop growing. Most people want a high-level life with low-level resistance, and that's why they never break out. They keep negotiating with their weaknesses. They keep making excuses for their lack of commitment. They keep defending the very behaviors that sabotage them. You will never set a new standard until you stop protecting the old one. A standard becomes real only when you start losing sleep over your own inconsistency. When being lazy feels uncomfortable, when skipping your goals feels wrong, when disappointing yourself hits harder than disappointing others, that's when you know your standard has changed. You stop seeking validation and start seeking progress. You start becoming allergic to your own excuses. You stop letting small setbacks turn into full collapses. You stop letting temporary emotions rewrite permanent identity. You hold the line, even when it shakes, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when you feel alone, even when no one notices. Because standards are built in silence and revealed in results. The moment you raise your standard, your life will start eliminating the people who don't match it. You'll notice some people stop calling you because you're no longer comfortable to be around. And that's good. You'll notice opportunities begin to show up because now you're someone who can handle them. You'll notice your confidence starts rising because confidence is a byproduct of living in alignment with your standard, not pretending. You'll feel stronger, clearer, sharper, more dangerous, more focused because you finally stop negotiating with the weaker version of you. But raising the standard is the easy part. Maintaining it is where warriors are made. Anyone can be disciplined for a day. Anyone can be passionate for a week. Anyone can be consistent when life is smooth. But the real standard shows itself when you're under pressure, when everything around you is breaking, when your emotions are loud, when nobody texts you, when the world is silent and it's just you versus that voice inside your head telling you to quit. That is where standards are either solidified or shattered. So ask yourself, what standard are you living by? Not the one you post online, not the one you tell your friends, the one your actions prove. The one your habits expose, the one your daily choices reflect. If the standard you have today can't support the future you want, then it's time to upgrade it violently, aggressively, unapologetically, because a weak standard produces a weak life. But a strong standard creates a powerful, unstoppable, world-shifting version of you that nothing can hold back. The third keynote, refuse to settle for mediocrity, is the cornerstone of understanding why true success demands unwavering standards and relentless pursuit of excellence. Many people wander through life content with what is comfortable, what is familiar, and what requires minimal effort. Settling for mediocrity is an insidious trap because it disguises itself as security and peace, but in reality, it quietly erodes potential. When you allow yourself to be satisfied with average performance, average results, or average effort, you are actively sabotaging your capacity to achieve greatness. Mediocrity becomes a prison, and its bars are invisible, yet they hold back the dreams, ambitions, and abilities that reside within you. It is essential to confront the seductive nature of mediocrity and make a conscious, deliberate decision to refuse it, because the path to extraordinary achievement is paved with choices that challenge the comfortable, the easy, and the status quo. To refuse mediocrity, you must begin by redefining your perception of what is acceptable. It is not enough to say, I did my best, if your best is uninspired, inconsistent, or half-hearted. True excellence requires introspection and brutal honesty about your effort, your results, and your commitment. This means analyzing every area of your life, your work ethic, your habits, your relationships, your mindset, and identifying where you are coasting instead of climbing, where you are performing rather than transforming. Refusing to settle is not a one-time declaration. It is a constant daily choice. Every task, no matter how small, becomes an opportunity to demand more of yourself. Every challenge, no matter how intimidating, becomes a test of your resolve to rise above the average. Mediocrity thrives on procrastination, excuses, and complacency, but when you adopt a mentality that refuses to settle, you automatically reject these pitfalls. Your standards begin to dictate your actions, and your actions begin to create results that are extraordinary by any measure. To refuse mediocrity also means to be vigilant about the influence of your environment. Surrounding yourself with people who accept mediocrity or who normalize half effort can slowly erode your standards, even if subconsciously. Peer pressure is not limited to social acceptance. It can manifest in professional settings, familial expectations, and cultural norms that tell you to be satisfied with enough. Recognizing this influence and actively choosing to rise above it is critical. Surround yourself with individuals who demand excellence from themselves, who challenge you to do better, and who celebrate progress over comfort. They serve as a mirror and a benchmark, constantly reminding you that excel. Length is not negotiable. Moreover, refusing mediocrity requires patience, resilience, and consistency. Growth is rarely linear, and the pursuit of excellence is often grueling, lonely, and demanding. There will be setbacks, failures, and moments when quitting seems like the easier path. It is in these moments that the refusal to settle must be reinforced with unwavering self-discipline and a vision so clear that nothing short of excellence will suffice. Additionally, this keynote emphasizes that excellence is holistic. It is not limited to professional achievements or material gains. It encompasses character, integrity, relationships, and personal growth. Mediocrity can creep into any domain, and to truly refuse it, you must elevate every aspect of your life. Every habit, every decision, every thought must align with the standard you are determined to set. The refusal to settle also fosters innovation and creativity. When you reject mediocrity, you stop imitating, stop following the crowd, and start creating. You look for solutions, strategies, and methods that are above the ordinary, because ordinary solutions yield ordinary results. By holding yourself to higher standards, you force yourself to think differently, act decisively, and pursue excellence relentlessly. Ultimately, refusing to settle for mediocrity is a declaration of self-respect, self-awareness, and self-mastery. It is a commitment to honoring your potential, recognizing your abilities, and challenging every limiting belief that tells you that good enough is actually enough. It is the mental and emotional framework that allows extraordinary individuals to push past limitations, overcome obstacles, and achieve success that others deem impossible. Every time you refuse mediocrity, you set a new benchmark for yourself. Inspire those around you and inch closer to a life that reflects your true capacity. It is not easy, but it is essential. Excellence is not accidental, it is intentional, and it requires a persistent refusal to accept anything less than the best version of yourself. To embrace this mindset is to embrace a life without regrets. A life defined not by what was easy, but by what was achieved through unyielding commitment, relentless effort, and an unwavering refusal to settle for anything less than extraordinary. You are not here to be average, to blend in, or to be comfortable. You are here to push boundaries, break barriers, and redefine what is possible. Mediocrity is optional. Excellence is mandatory. The choice is yours, and every action you take either strengthens your commitment or undermines it. Choosing to refuse mediocrity is the single most powerful step you can take toward dominating your life, achieving your dreams, and leaving a legacy that will endure far beyond your lifetime. The fourth keynote, lead by example, is one of the most critical aspects of achieving influence, respect, and lasting success in any arena. Leadership is often misunderstood as a title, a position, or the authority to tell others what to do. But true leadership is far deeper. It is about setting a standard so high that others are compelled to follow, not because they have to, but because they are inspired to do so. Leading by example means that every action, every choice, every decision you make reflects the principles, values, and work ethic you expect from others. It requires living a life of consistency, discipline, and integrity. And it demands that your words and deeds align in every circumstance. When you lead by example, you stop relying on empty motivational speeches or superficial encouragements to get results. Instead, your behavior becomes a mirror for those around you. People watch, observe, and unconsciously absorb your habits, your attitude, and your commitment. If you are consistent in showing up, in giving your best effort, and in refusing to settle for mediocrity, others cannot help but notice. Leading by example is especially important because it bridges the gap between expectation and action. Many leaders fail because they tell others to work harder, be disciplined, or pursue excellence, yet they themselves are inconsistent or fall short. Such hypocrisy undermines authority and erodes trust. By demonstrating the behavior you wish to see in others, you create credibility, inspire confidence, and establish a culture of accountability. This keynote also emphasizes the invisible power of influence. Leadership is not just about commanding attention in meetings or being recognized publicly. It is about the subtle, quiet influence you have over the people in your life and your environment. Every time you make a difficult choice, push through adversity, or maintain your standards in the face of challenge, you teach those around you what is possible. Actions speak louder than words, and your life becomes a testament to what discipline, focus, and resilience can achieve. Leading by example requires self-mastery. You cannot inspire others if you are inconsistent, undisciplined, or unclear about your own path. It demands that you hold yourself to a higher standard than anyone else could expect, and that you are willing to endure the sacrifices and challenges necessary to embody the principles you advocate. In practical terms, this might mean arriving early when others are late, maintaining composure when others complain, or pursuing growth when others settle. It also requires vulnerability and authenticity. Leading by example does not mean pretending to be perfect or hiding your struggles. It means showing how you navigate challenges, overcome obstacles, and remain committed to your vision. People are inspired not by leaders who are flawless, but by leaders who are real, accountable, and relentless in their pursuit of improvement. Moreover, leading by example cultivates trust. Trust is the currency of leadership, and it is earned not through promises or rhetoric, but through demonstrated action. When people see that you are willing to do what you expect of them, that you do not ask for effort or sacrifice you are unwilling to make yourself, they naturally place their confidence in your direction. Trust then multiplies influence, and influence multiplies impact. Another critical aspect of this keynote is the ripple effect. Every choice you make, every action you take, affects not only your own life, but the lives of those around you. By setting a standard of excellence, you elevate the entire environment. Teams perform better, relationships become stronger, and communities grow healthier when leadership is embodied through action. Conversely, when leaders act inconsistently, tolerate mediocrity, or fail to demonstrate accountability, the negative effects ripple outward, creating a culture of complacency and excuse-making. Leading by example also requires courage. It often means standing alone, making unpopular decisions, or facing criticism while staying committed to your principles. It is easier to follow the crowd, conform to mediocrity, or take shortcuts. But true leaders understand that influence and respect are earned in the moments when doing the right thing is hardest. This courage reinforces authenticity and deepens the impact of your leadership. Furthermore, leading by example is not limited to professional context. It extends to personal life, relationships, and community engagement. Children, partners, friends, and colleagues all look to you, consciously or unconsciously, as a model for behavior, attitude, and resilience. By embodying strength, discipline, and integrity, you inspire them to rise to their potential and contribute positively to their own lives and the world around them. Ultimately, this keynote is a call to action for self-responsibility and accountability. It reminds you that leadership is less about what you say and more about what you do. It challenges you to examine your habits, your decisions, and your mindset, and to ensure that they reflect the highest standards you expect of others. To lead by example is to take ownership of your influence, to act with intention, and to demonstrate daily that excellence is not negotiable. When you embrace this mindset, you not only elevate yourself, but also create a powerful culture of achievement, accountability, and inspiration that cannot be ignored. The path to dominance, success, and respect is illuminated not by commands, but by the visible proof of your commitment, courage, and consistency. Leading by example is the ultimate way to transform potential into results, aspirations into reality, and ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies. It is the essence of authentic leadership, and it begins with you taking decisive action every single day to embody the values you want to see in the world. As we come to the final moments of this message, I want you to feel the weight of every word, the urgency of every thought, and the fire that has been building inside you since the beginning. This is not just another speech, another motivational clip, or a fleeting burst of energy. This is a call to action, a challenge to the very core of who you are, and a reminder that the life you want, the success you crave, and the person you dream to become is not waiting for luck, for permission, or for the perfect moment. It is waiting for you to show up fully, relentlessly, and without excuses. The world does not slow down for hesitation. Time does not pause for indecision. Every second you delay, every doubt you nurture, every fear you indulge is a moment lost, a chance wasted, and a potential left unclaimed. You have the power to control your actions, your mindset, and your commitment, but only if you decide today, right now, that nothing will stop you. Understand this: greatness does not come to those who wait. It comes to those who move, those who persist, those who refuse to accept mediocrity as an option. You must be willing to push harder than yesterday, to rise when others fall, to keep going when every fiber of your being is screaming to quit. Your mindset, your habits, your persistence, they are the foundation of the life you are destined to create. No one else can build it for you. No one else can fight your battles or embrace your challenges in your place. This journey is yours, and the responsibility lies squarely on your shoulders. But here is the liberating truth: this is also your power. The same hands that hold the weight of responsibility hold the keys to transformation, the ability to shape your reality, and the chance to redefine what is possible. Do not let fear, doubt, or comfort dictate your life. You were not born to settle, to follow, or to fade into the background. You were born to rise, to dominate, and to leave a mark so unmistakable that the world cannot ignore it. Every struggle you have faced, every setback, every no you've received, every obstacle that seemed insurmountable, they are not there to stop you. They are there to test you, to shape you, and to prepare you for the level of excellence you are capable of achieving. So I challenge you, look in the mirror, face yourself, and ask the hardest question you will ever ask. What are you willing to do to change your life? The answer is where your power begins. The answer is where your journey truly starts. You cannot control what life throws at you, but you can control how you respond. You cannot predict the road ahead, but you can prepare your mind, sharpen your focus, and strengthen your resolve. You must decide in this very moment that average is no longer an option, that excuses will not define you, and that you will rise again and again until you claim everything you are capable of becoming. Today is your turning point. Today is the moment you refuse to be stopped. Carry this energy forward. Let it fuel every action, every choice, every thought, and never forget that the power to win, to succeed, and to dominate your life has always been within you. Stand up, take control, and move forward with unrelenting intensity, because your life is waiting, and greatness does not wait for anyone.